I'm Eric Kelly from KellyPlanet.com. This is a closer look at Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 9, The Battle.
In response to a Starfleet order, we are in the Zendi Sabu star system, having rendezvoused with a Ferengi vessel which has requested a meeting. They have so far responded only with the message, "Stand by, Enterprise."
Okay, so we start off with Captain Picard summoning Dr. Crusher to his quarters because he has a headache, which puzzles her at first. It must be nice not to have headaches in the 24th century. Picard is perplexed because what are the intentions of the Ferengi? Stand by? What does that mean?
Captain from First Officer, they're finally sending a message.
On my way, number one.
Riker chimes in with some answers, and here we go with Damon Bach on visual, played by Frank Corsentino. We'll also see him twice more here on out. He also plays Damon Togg, the Ferengi who kidnapped Deanna and Loaxana Troi.
I have asked you here to discuss a mutual problem, Captain.
What problem is that, Damon Bach?
I insist on speaking of that matter in person.
So Bach wants to talk in person. Notice we're still doing the thing with the whiteout Ferengi backdrop.
Captain, I sense considerable deception on Bach's part, and danger.
Then we should meet him here.
I appreciate your offer, Damon Bach. We would like you to be our guest here.
As you wish, Picard.
Hold up! I thought Betazoids, especially Troi, since she's only half Betazoid, couldn't sense the Ferengi mind. She couldn't before, and won't be able to in the future. Just saying. So Bach agrees to meet them on the Enterprise in 1 Earth hour. Captain Picard still has a headache, and Dr. Crusher still does not know why. There's Wesley on the bridge. Remember, he has been an acting ensign for quite some time now, though this point seems to have been forgotten thus far. And this is the first time we see him in that terrible uniform.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse power.
Says who?
I was in engineering, playing around with boosting the sensor output.
Boosting it? How? We will discuss this later.
Oh look, Wesley knows everything again. Since when is an approaching ship considered an intruder alert? Never, that's when. Also, if it is traveling under impulse power, which is relatively slow, how the heck did it sneak up on them? So we know the ship is Constellation class, which would be a Federation ship, but not much else. It's not transmitting an IFF or anything. It is decided that even though this mystery ship has shown up, the Ferengi are going to beam aboard anyway. And there they are. That's Bach, First Officer Kazago, and Arata.
What is its price? We should like to purchase it.
He is not for sale. Commander Data is
second-hand merchandise, and you wouldn't want him.
Second-hand, sir?
The Ferengi are like, yeah, that ship out there, we're in control of that. No big deal. It's a gift from us to the hero of Maxia, which is Picard apparently. What is that about?
He may refer to an encounter which occurred 9 years ago in the Maxia Zeta star system, in which an unidentified starship,
That fine vessel was Ferengi.
which you destroyed, sir.
Battle of Maxia.
Uh-oh, so Picard destroyed a Ferengi ship a number of years ago, and now they are here with a gift. Something seems amiss. There's the mystery ship, and holy crap, it just happens to be the Stargazer, the ship Picard was on during the Battle of Maxia. Of course, Picard is like, how'd you get that? And the Ferengi respond, yeah, we just kind of found it floating around, and now we want to give it to you. Seems legit.
That vessel is yours, if you wish to have it. We are not selling it to him. Consider it an act of friendship at no cost.
The other Ferengi are not cool with just giving away something valuable, so what is Bach up to? An away team is supposed to go over to the Stargazer, but first, Picard explains what happened at Maxia to the senior staff.
We were traveling at warp 2 through the Maxia Zeta system when this unidentified starship suddenly appeared and fired on us. First attack damaged the shields. In the confusion, they hit us a second time. Can you identify them, Vigo?
Sir, who's Vigo?
That's odd. Seems like Picard is having some flashbacks.
You performed what Starfleet textbooks now refer to as the Picard maneuver.
And I dropped into high warp, stopped right off the enemy vessel's bow, fired with everything I had.
And blowing into maximum warp speed, you appeared for an instant to be in 2 places at once.
Okay, hold up. I've been aware of the Picard maneuver since I was a kid, and it sounds pretty awesome. But now that I think about it, Warp 1, the speed of light, is just under 300,000 kilometers per second, which happens to be the effective range of the ship's phasers. Picard and Riker both mentioned that the Picard maneuver involved kicking into high warp. They keep saying dropping down into high warp, which makes no sense. And no matter what, is many times the speed of light. So for that to work, the Stargazer would have had to have been really, really far away from the Ferengi vessel, which it was not. So I hate to break it to myself, but the Picard maneuver is a bunch of bull.
No, it was a save-our-skins maneuver. We were finished. On fire. We had to abandon ship. We limped through space in shuttlecraft for weeks before we were picked up.
Oh man, I'm going to get all kinds of crap about this. They survived in shuttlecraft for weeks, huh? The standard crew complement of a Constellation-class ship is 535. Even with heavy casualties, that's still hundreds of people. The shuttles are small. There is no way a ship that size carried enough shuttles for all those crew to get out of there. The comparatively humongous Enterprise D only carries 25 shuttles on a normal basis. Sorry. So now we're on the Stargazer, and things seem legit. LaForge says something about activating emergency power cells, but the ship has been traveling under its own power. Whatever.
You will find this most intriguing, sir. Last entry dated 9 years ago, sir. By you. We are forced to abandon our starship. May she find her way without us. Apparently she did, sir.
Data said, Yule. Picard's checking out the stuff in his old cabin when a weird ball thing starts glowing and his headache comes back. Oh, well, look, Damon Bach is behind all of this, of course.
The records of the Stargazer, sir. It would appear that the starship which Captain Picard attacked had, in fact, been under a flag of truce.
What?
And apparently, the captain destroyed the ship without notice or provocation.
And what proof?
It is logged in his own voice, sir.
Well, obviously the Ferengi forged a bunch of stuff, but let's hear it.
This is a confession given by me, Jean-Luc Picard, commanding USS Stargazer. Fortunately, I fired our main phasers and our direct hits destroyed the unknown vessel.
Riker vows to get to the bottom of this, and given the subspace delay to Starfleet Command, he has 2 days to figure it out. So he calls up the first officer of the Ferengi vessel for a chat. Basically, he is just sowing the seeds in Kazago's mind that maybe his daemon is up to no good. There's Bach messing with Picard's brain again. Besides giving him headaches, that device makes Picard relive the events of Maxia over and over, which, as you can imagine, causes all kinds of stress.
Ready phasers and lock. Stand by on warp 9. Engage. Phasers fire! Torpedoes away!
There we go. He said warp 9. So, if we use the TNG error rates, that's 834 times the speed of light, which is about 250 million kilometers per second, or farther than the distance between the Sun and Mars. In 1 second. No way those ships were that far apart. Data reports that the log aboard the Stargazer is a forgery, which he detected by checksum error, and that's a real thing.
What report on the logs?
Yes, sir. Whoever tampered with your personal log was clever.
But a bit clumsy. It's definitely a fabrication, sir.
Number 1, what are you doing here?
Beverly calls Riker number 1. It's kind of weird. Picard orders everyone to get the heck out and tells Riker to release the tractor beam from the Stargazer. That's weird too. Crusher can't figure out what's wrong with Picard. Troy can't figure out what's wrong with Picard. So it's a good thing Wesley shows up and tells him that Picard's brain scans, which he glanced at briefly, match a transmission coming from the Ferengi ship. It's very convenient.
You're welcome, ladies.
Adults.
Now stuff is hitting the fan. Picard is transported over to the Stargazer by himself, but he's not alone. Bach is there with his magic light globe.
Commander, we're reading something very strange here. A low-intensity beam of intermittent pulse.
Inside Captain Picard's quarters.
You transferred some of his belongings from the Stargazer?
Yes. Go take a look. Fast.
Now the pieces are coming together. Turns out Bach's son was the commander of the vessel Picard destroyed, and he is out for vengeance. The brain control thing is to make Picard destroy himself, and he'll do that by thinking that the Enterprise is actually the Ferengi vessel from Maxia, and he'll attack the much more advanced ship.
Do not attack again. We are on a peaceful mission. Give your identity. You force us to defend ourselves. Phasers full up. Half torpedoes.
Oh, see, attacking the Enterprise is not a good idea.
Sir, I now feel anger from our captain. Fury over whatever it is he is reliving out there.
The Picard maneuver. What is the defense against that data?
There is no defense, sir.
Then devise one. Fast.
And in the middle of all this, Kazago tells Riker that he has relieved Bach of command for engaging in non-profitable activity, and that their ship will not get involved with this situation with Picard. Data comes up with a plan. Of course, a modern ship has the ability to detect which sensor image in the Picard maneuver is the correct one, and they can trap it in a tractor beam, as long as that works.
Lock on tractor beam.
Hey, it did work. So Riker tells Picard to find the glowy globe thing and destroy it, and he does. Problem solved.
Are you all right, Captain?
Where is Bach?
Removed from command, sir, and placed under guard for his act of personal vengeance. Seems there was no profit in it.
In revenge, there never is.
Yeah, so literally that's it. The Stargazer is back under tow, Damon Bach is in super trouble, and Picard is fine.
Let the dead rest. And the past remain the past.
Alright, to clarify how the Maxia thing went down, Picard was an ensign on the Stargazer during that incident, and his captain was killed when the Ferengi attacked. He took command because I guess the other higher-ranking officers didn't want to, and after the battle he was awarded a field commission and then promoted to captain, which he remained until he took over the Enterprise D. This happened to Ensign Vendome in Lower Decks, and I picked on that, but since it happened to Picard, I guess there's precedence. The downfall of Damon Bach by his own people is simply because the Ferengi are a highly profit-driven race, and his revenge against Picard was not profitable. I didn't include it, but Bach admits that he took basically his entire life savings to acquire those mind-altering glowy spheres, which are highly illegal even in Ferengi society anyway. Data only used one contraction, he said Yule. I listened to it many times, and it's perfectly plausible that Spiner said you will very quickly, but the captions read Yule, so I counted it. That was Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 9, The Battle. I'm Eric Kelly from KellyPlanet.com. Live long and prosper. Hi, it's me again, and if you liked that video, please hit the button so that I know, and if you didn't, well, that's okay too. Sometimes I miss stuff or I'm completely incorrect, and if that's the case, please let me know in the comments so I can fix my brain. Here are some other videos that I've done, and there's more Trek and other content from me on my website, KellyPlanet.com. See you next time.